And we're live this time, no mistakes. My name is Brian from the Monday Klub, and I'm the producer. And I'm joined there with Dean and Alan, who are the hosts for this Monday evening. How are you, lads?
How are the lads? How are we getting on? Happy Monday. Happy
Very good.
Baltic. Happy Baltic Monday. It's freezing.
Very good for a Monday now. Very good for a Monday.
Oh, it is, especially when you have dead batteries after all the cold weather last couple of days. Not saying it was me or anything, but lads, this week's guests, Dawn and Dale, the background, the nation's favourite Gogglebox stars. Now look, we're here to talk about obviously Gogglebox, but it's not all going to be TV. Basically, it's weddings, tragedy, coping, and charity. I actually wrote that. It was like a tongue twister.
And you didn't.
I can't get it right. I
didn't
did it. No, I didn't miss it. No.
Okay.
So look, just I don't know. We're going to talk to them in the next minute. Just before we do, we're just going to look at a little Gogglebox segment just to get us started, and we'll be back with Dawn and Dale.
On Monday night, RTE2 showed us what can happen when a man takes over the wedding plans.
Come on, Ben. There you go.
Would you trust me to plan our wedding?
You're going to plan it anyway if we were to get married. I'm going to have no say if it was.
Good.
Would you trust me?
No.
Don't blame me.
Tell me you're messy.
Oh no.
Oh my God. Imagine going to IKEA to get married.
You get it at a bargain price.
Look, you can rewind 7 days of telly. You're kidding me.
Virgin Media, sponsors of Gogglebox Ireland.
So we're back. Can you hear us now? Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello.
Hi guys,
so
how are we
we just seen the segment there, and I think it was it started with "Don't Tell the Bride." But I think at that point ye weren't engaged, or you had no plans yet. So we'll get to that in a moment. But as we were talking before we even started, Alan's kids loved the show. So can you tell us how it all started, or how you got to the point where you became, look, as I said, the nation's favourite Gogglebox stars?
I suppose to cut a very, very long story short, we were in Dawn's house watching TV one day with our friend, and sure we were chatting the whole way through the show. And our friend was like, "Oh my God, if they ever look for families for Gogglebox, you should go for it." So we were like, "Yeah." And then the next night there was an ad on Facebook looking for families. So I told Dawn to apply, and she didn't. So then I decided, I was like, just to be pig ignorant, I was like, I'm going to do it. So I applied the week after, and then it went on for about 2 months, and got the call the start of January to say that we were going to be on the show's second season, and we've been on it since. So it's good.
Yeah, that's very good. And like one of the things as well that people must remember, that what you're doing is basically what everyone else is doing at home. So that must be a big thing for you when you're out and you're about in your own lives now, because people are recognising you a lot, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's just I suppose we're at home watching TV like nothing's. And then I think one of the first things that kind of popped into my head now, but like a weird thing, is this man came up to me randomly. I like sweet corn, and I was like, okay, that's good for you. And he's like, no, I like sweet corn, and I go, that's lovely. But I had said something about sweet corn that Wednesday on the show, so like I suppose small things like that you kind of forget, and then they're chit chatting away, and then you get a phone call off the mother absolutely hating you because you're after telling the nation she can't cook for shite, so.
Yeah, obviously there's a connection between myself and Dale. I'm the cool one in the family. Dale is the famous one in the family. So when I watch it, I send a text to Dale, and it's, "Oh, she's going to kill you, and you're dead," and then I get a text back, "Oh, I haven't watched it yet." So there's obviously clips in the show that you miss. Do you remember everything, and do you get the phone call straight away from Ma'am?
No.
Fear you get, because we forget what you say, because obviously stuff just pops out of your mouth, kind of oblivious to it, and then the show comes on, you're like, oh God, what did I say when we were watching this? And then it comes out, and you're like, oh God.
Yeah, she's always giving out down the phone. I think the biggest one that really like had a knock-on effect is my poor dad got blamed for our dodgy frame falling off the wall. On like every building site he went to, people were like shouting from the top of scaffolding, like, so he still hasn't let that down, like, for the frame falling, like. So yeah, small things. And then I suppose when you're just chit-chatting at home anyway, and like one episode I was talking about getting a Brazilian wax, and sure, like, even me to be like, why did you tell the nation about your vagina? Like, it was just enough, you know?
Thanks.
I think even at that point we might throw in there who actually done it, just as a bit of promotion from. Was it a good, bad one, or?
Oh, it was City
Wax.
Yeah, it was City Wax. City Wax. They're always
City Wax. Okay, head to City Wax. Go on, Alan.
For all your waxing needs. Like that's
where you go.
That frame moment is used in some of the promos and stuff, but just bringing it forward a small bit from the first clip about organising the wedding. For those who don't know, you might just give us a bit of information how the proposal came about. We obviously know, but for those who don't, you might just give us a kind of an insight as to how that came about day one.
Well, for anyone that knows Dale knows that she wasn't going to propose, so one of us had to do it. I actually had planned on going abroad to do it, but obviously that didn't happen, so we ended up staying in Ireland, went to Connemara, and then obviously I was sweating. Like, there's definitely a reason that, like, in a straight relationship that the men do it, because it actually is terrifying to do. But yeah, we just went for a walk.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of word vomited, and that was kind of it.
There was a small bit of preparation before you did what you did. You might just explain that for us as well.
This was your asked Dad, like.
Oh well, yeah. We're traditional gays. But just got the blessing from Dale's dad. And then obviously they had to go ring shopping and stuff. Like, everything was a surprise. Didn't know about it at all, so it was all top secret.
So is that clip that we played at the start, is that true regarding the wedding planning? Could you not be trusted?
100%, yeah.
We'd all be wearing GA jerseys, and it would be like the match of the day. We'd be playing go up the aisle, like. So I give Dawn like options. I'm like, do you want this really thing or this like super ugly thing? And then she'd be like, oh, that's horrible. I'm like, okay, we'll go with that. And then she'd go, what price is it? I'm like, no, we'll go with that. That's fine. So that's kind of the way we work.
I really need to jump in here now, because I think Dean is a bit annoyed at the fact that he still hasn't been asked, is he going to be a bridesmaid or not?
Right.
And I'll wear a dress. She knows that.
It's all around. It's all around apples, you know. It's all around there. Like, it's you're the talk of the town. He's still not been asked, is he the bridesmaid? Head bridesmaid. He's trying to organise the hen and stag, you know.
Everything.
Everything. But look, even on that, you've done a lot. I think it was 2015 you started, and you've done a lot. I don't know. Can you tell us? But like, we don't want to know much of it. But planning it during the current climate, how is that going? Have you obviously it's your first wedding, so you don't really have much experience with others. But are you finding it hard? Getting advice off people? Are you finding much to do?
I suppose, like, we were just talking the other day, like, we don't even have our venue booked a year yet, which is mental. So we got engaged in October 2019, and then we were like, we plenty of time. We booked our venue in January, and then that was it. We didn't book anything else.
Yeah.
We went to a wedding fair a week before lockdown, and saw a photographer we liked, so we booked him. And then we went into lockdown with our work, and then the rest of the country actually went into lockdown. And we still were like, well, we've loads of time, because we didn't realize COVID was going to be as big as it was. That would affect so many weddings and push so many weddings back. So it was like 3 weeks into lockdown that we thought, look, we better start, like, see if we can nail a few things down. And by sheer luck, we managed to book the big things, like the band and photographer, videographer, all these like big things. Just in time. We've got like a few small bits now, like, that we kind of only managed to get under wraps now, like the likes of hair and makeup. Like Dawn's dress isn't ordered because the boutiques are closed, so she can't get measured to order her dress. So it is difficult.
I've seen a friend of mine, their wedding was booked and it's after being postponed. So, like, all of those details that you're now doing, would you think that that's, in hindsight, it's been a good thing for you that you didn't have to go cancelling all of the stuff that you'd organised already?
Yeah, I think we kind of just got in before people started cancelling weddings as well. So like people that were supposed to get married last year, we kind of got in before them to book stuff that they could possibly need for this year. Just if it was down to like 6 people to get like at the wedding, we'd kind of leave it at that. Like we don't plan on cancelling regardless.
Yeah, I think we have a better frame towards it as well, in the sense of the people who had to cancel their wedding last year, and maybe some who are cancelling or moving their weddings now. They didn't get a chance to wrap their head around the idea of having a very small wedding, whereas we are prepared for a small wedding, and if we get the opposite, then we'll be delighted.
Yeah, like I'm obviously privy to some of the information when you're organising weddings and dresses and stuff like that. So, do you see it as a blessing that COVID came and you can kind of cut down all the organisation and you have to make decisions a little bit quicker?
Yeah, I think it definitely cuts out the pressure as well, because I suppose everyone goes through the pressure when you're planning a wedding of like having everyone add their 2 cents of like, you have to invite this person, and obviously you're gonna have to invite your third cousin and their partner you've never met before. Yeah. So like it cuts all that out. The only kind of, I suppose there's obviously a lot of downsides to one of the downsides at the moment is like trying to tell people like when the wedding is, but also saying to them, look, I don't know if you can go. That's something that most weddings haven't had to deal with.
Would you think, like we say again, this is a traditional Irish thing that, you know, your parents would have an input, or you have to invite Mr. and Mrs. such and such. But do you think that people would be totally understanding now, like for people that are watching or listening that might be in your predicament, meaning they're about to get married, do you think that people would be understanding as well to say, you know what, we totally get it?
Like they'd have to. I mean, sure, it's all over social media, it's all over the news. Like it's not as if they have a choice, I suppose, like that. If we could only invite 6 people, it's 6 people. If your cousins, your aunts, your best friends, your uncles get annoyed, then it's a bit silly because it's kind of out of your control. So there's nothing really that you could do about it, I suppose.
Just ask. Sorry, Alan. Just ask what do you find is the easiest part and the hardest part of organising a wedding at the moment?
Hardest part is spending money.
Oh,
that's easy for Dale, I was going to say.
It's just the waiting game is the hardest part at the moment, because obviously with the restrictions, and there's restrictions into things that you wouldn't like. Obviously, if it's down to 25 people, you can have a one-man band, which is like a man with a guitar, unless it's like some sort of comedic thing. You know, you can't have like the photo booths, you can't have your like sweet carts. So it's going to be a case of like checking over our kind of contracts to see when is the last possible time we can cancel people. And then there's obviously the fact of contacting them to be like, look, we're so sorry, but it is what it is, and you know, you're letting someone else down, you know, unfortunately.
Yeah. I've actually been in the receiving end of that position, and you know what, people don't mind it. It was my friend, I won't say the name, was getting married, and I think it was 25 guests at the time, and it was a stagger between people going to the ceremony and people, you know, turning up to the event at night, and who'd go to what and who wouldn't. And you know, at the end of the day, people were just telling them, do what ye think is right, and have your day if you want to, or postpone it. Don't be worrying about anybody else. I was thinking of actually getting registering with the state, so we might do, if it was an option, we could do your wedding online like this.
I've offered already.
So even it's a social media. That'll be very good. So look, we're going to touch on a few messages that came in, but just keep it in mind anyway. We're going to touch on a few messages that came in. Keep up the great work, lads. You show us. Keep up the great work, lads. You show us brilliant. Them girls are so funny. The show would be not without, you know, yourselves coming on. Thanks very much for that. Congratulations on engagement, girls. At the moment, there's no names coming up, but there is a couple of names. Keep up the great work, girls. Brilliant. And there's one from Louise Scanlon. Lovely to see the girls, family favourite of ours on Gogglebox.
Yeah,
so when
definitely.
So Alan?
Yeah, no, definitely. As I said, I love the show. My daughters love the show. Actually, Quiva is my youngest of three, and Quiva, when we'd be out and about and we'd see in public or in town or whatever, you know, they'd always say, "Oh," she'd point out, "Look, that's the girls from Gogglebox," and it's great. But moving on from the wedding side of it, there was something that obviously during the lockdown everyone went through, which was a bit of kind of, oh, what's next? How are you managing to get through it yourselves, girls? What's your kind of daily routines like that you might be able to help everyone keep sane?
Like every Irish person, I think everyone's going out for walks. If I walk anymore, like, I don't know what I'm going to do. My leg's going to fall off me. But doing stuff around the house, cleaning. I keep saying I'm going to paint the bathroom, and I haven't done that yet. Like, so it's just trying to find odd jobs that you didn't actually get time for when you're at work or whatever. Like a lot of people have a chance to work from home. With our profession, we can't. So it is just trying to fill in the gaps, I think, throughout the day.
Yeah, just I suppose there is an aspect where we are working a little bit from home, but not doing to the full extent, and we're keeping ourselves busy like that. And I mean, I suppose in a way it's great motivation for us at the moment, because the first two lockdowns, like, I can't see my feet. I'm after getting so fat. So I'm really trying to get, like, Joe Wicks is baiting my ass in the morning with the 15-minute workouts. Like, so I suppose that's kind of motivating us as well.
Well, I know you quite well. What do you find is the hardest part of lockdown yourselves? I know you're around each other all the time, so you work together. You're looking at each other 24 hours a day. I know you might be killing each other behind closed doors. Yeah, I can see. Yeah, what do you find is the hardest part of the lockdown itself?
We're big, like, family and friends people. Like, you know, like, Dean's my brother, and I might see him once every 3 months because I'm booked up with everyone else in between. And that's been the most difficult part for us, because we're doing our part by, like, not seeing anyone at all, just sticking to ourselves unless we see other humans at, like, Aldi or something. So that's the biggest thing. We'd be very family oriented people, and we have a big friend group, so it's just having to survive through the voice notes at the moment now. That's a big thing for us.
And I think as well, like, outside of the stuff that people are doing, there's other things that we can do as well with our time. And I know I saw something on one of your social medias about a GoFundMe that you guys got behind, which obviously it's a great cause, but you might just give us some information. And again, if you want to give a kind of a background to how people can support GoFundMe.
Well, the GoFundMe has reached its target, which is amazing, and that was kind of a great advantage of social media. 5 years ago, our two friends and our friend's dad passed away in a freak accident down in Baltimore, and the GoFundMe was to raise money for a sculpture, not just to like in their memory, but in memory of people who've lost their lives at sea. As I said, like, over my kind of Instagram, on my Instagram story, like, they were very young, like, very, very good friends of ours, and it was just a tragedy that completely, like, tore us all apart. And it was just our way of trying to, as much as we can, the people of Baltimore Search and Rescue and the RNLI, and then the Navy came in. They did so much for us to be able to give our friends the burial that they deserved. So anyway, we could help at all, and it was just a case of, like, it was difficult to share the story, but we knew it was for a greater cause. Yeah. So that's kind of what it was amazing to see people pull together. The stories we got from, like, people who were as far as America, who had visited the village before, and the fact that it made its target is just amazing.
Fair play.
Yeah, I was even reading up on it there. I think we're going to share that on all our platforms later, just to keep the momentum going with it. Because look, it is a lovely gesture, and to have a memorial down there, you know. So as I said, people might be gone, but they're never forgotten, which is the main thing. On a lighter note, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a video now, and I want to get you to Gogglebox it. So in other words, we're going to call it, what did I call it again today?
YouTubeable.
YouTubeable. so we just want to get the critics' view on one of our videos. Is that okay?
Boy.
Go easy. Go easy. Brian Delay Healthcare City Spectacular 2019 is coming up. Remember last year's one? What was your favourite part of that? Was it the Just Eat Street? Because you loved your food, like.
No.
I know. It was the family area when you went to get down the slide because you loved that slide, like. It was good, but no. So if it wasn't all of those, was it Snap Boogie when he went over all of those people and he never touched off anyone? No. What was your favourite part of City Spectacular last year?
Well,
Lair Healthcare City Spectacular 2019 returns to Fitzgerald's Park, Cork on the Saturday the 20th and Sunday the 21st of July. Proudly supported by Unity Media Network and the Cork Independent. Don't try this at home, as the lads are professional agents. And no ducks were harmed in the making of this video. See you there.
God, you don't actually realize how strong the Cork accent is.
Yeah.
No.
No Cork accent here, boy.
That's a grown accent.
That's a grand accent, yeah.
Yeah, so what do you think?
What do you think of our video? We go on places. Would you give us the thumbs up from the couch, or?
I wouldn't quit the day job.
Yeah,
I tell you,
this is our platform. Do you know what I mean?
It was very funny that day. So to explain the video, myself and Brian and Dean, and we were media partners for the Leah Healthcare City Spectacular for video. So we said we were there 2 years running. So we said we do something different. But the amount of people, because Brian was on the drone, we had the cameras, but the amount of people that were around us looking at that day, like that must have taken 2 hours to just get to that point, because Brian had one set of clothes. So he was like, I'm not doing 2 takes. But obviously the purpose of, I suppose, showing that is that, what you're doing watching TV is basically just a bit of banter. You're just being yourselves, really, like, isn't it?
I think that's the most Cork thing ever as well. The fact that the minute there's a camera out, and maybe it's just a Norrie thing as well, you're kind of what's going on over here? So the people were nearly hanging off you, and with a drone, far from drones, you were rare. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, we just had a message there. Brian might bring it in from Brendan O'Mooncoin. Lads, I'm listening in from Melbourne. The accent on all of you is so strong. Love it. So yeah, I think the accent. The accent is big. What's the plan for you? So looking ahead, obviously the wedding is to the forefront, but what will Dawn and Dale be doing in 2021?
Well, hopefully we'll get back to work at some stage. We have our friend's wedding that was postponed. Her wedding is literally 29 days before ours, and then we have hens, more home improvements.
Picture frames.
There's a 30th and there's a 40th.
Oh, 30th. There's a 60th as well.
Oh, a 60th as well, yeah. I'm not 60. I'm not 60.
What I was just going to ask, there's another chat message after coming in. When the picture fell off the wall, I loved it. Best of luck in your future together. What was that about? Did I miss something?
That's the best thing. They were literally sitting down. I could be wrong now, but it was obviously before you watched the program. And out of the blue, the picture fell down off the wall, nearly half their shoulders.
Yeah.
Never got.
A backstory to that is that we were deathly hungover. I mean, like, and we were just like, I think I'd gotten to the stage where I was like watching the TV. So I'm kind of glad it happened because it woke me up. But when it fell, like Dawn reacted, and I was like, oh my god! It took me ages to realize what was happening. And sure, I lost the plan. It took a chance to the walls. The walls are just started being painted.
And was that in your new house?
Yeah.
Oh no!
Oh, that's like a bad omen.
You weren't in there long, then were you?
No, we moved back. We moved back in the July, and that was like in the August or something.
Yeah,
that
something
happened.
like that.
So what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to pop out for a second, just in case anybody wants to get involved with us, or has anything to offer to the show, or thinks there's anything we should be doing. We're always up for new ideas, and we're always up for suggestions. So we'll be back right after this.
Hi everybody, it's Alan from Unity here, and we're asking you if you'd like to get involved. If you're a community group, sporting organisation, or indeed a business you'd like to take part, we'd love to hear from you. You can contact us on our usual social media platforms, of course our website unitymedianetwork.com.
And we're back, and so what we'll do is we'll just ask you one or two, maybe three more questions, and then we'll wrap it up. There is one I just want an explanation, and I've been obviously doing my research on you today. So I've been on Instagram. Can you explain this?
So ever since I was born, anyway, we've done Santi photos. And I think in all the collection that we have, like with mom and my dad, we're missing two. And it was a big deal this year that there was no Santi photo. So I thought to myself, I know a Santi. But the Santi didn't realise that she was going to get roped into it. So I ordered the costume, I say, in October, and collected our parents and collected mom and dad on Christmas Day. They walked in, and sure, my mom in purple, she got such a fright, and we had to get, thank God Dawn's good sport anyway, so we had to
I wouldn't mind, about 10 minutes after this photo was taken, Dale's dad literally grabbed onto the back of the coat and fucked me out the door, but all the neighbours were out with their kids, like my God.
But just checking, we're actually only 2.5 minutes from the watershed, so you're fine with that one.
Yeah, and that's a good point. There was a big argument on the radio before Christmas, right? So is it Santa or Santi?
Santi.
And I think Damien Treen and a good friend of the lads and myself put up, but it actually came back that even people in the south side say Santi.
But it is Santa.
It's not. It's Santa.
There you go.
Dean's going to start the discussion on the boys and girls. They're not going to know in a minute, and that at the end of January, for God's sake.
Yeah.
You have to start them off, like.
And come here, before we wrap up as well, girls. So with the way things have gone from your own side of things, like the events that would have taken place around Gogglebox obviously are gone. But it was good that the show still kept going during the pandemic, I would say, as well, as best they could.
It was great, and I think in fairness to the show as well, you know, that just kind of proves that it is like a feel-good family, in the sense that like no one was endangered. Like it was basically, you know, just families that lived together that were allowed to continue on, and it was great because like it kept us going through results. We're viewers as well on a Wednesday, like it's our favorite thing to watch as well. But we're watching everyone else. When we come on screen, we're like, oh Jesus. But so it was great that it got to continue on.
Yeah, what's it like when you see yourselves?
I'm normally like, with that double chin or go away. So that's basically it. Or I'll say something, I'm like, oh, I know Dean's gonna text me about this now. So that's basically it.
Yeah. That's normally what happens. That's normally what happens.
There's actually one other question we just got in as a chat, and I said I would ask you this one. Can the girls pick which one of the Unity crew has the poshest Norrie accent? That's from Sean. Cheers, Sean.
He's a posh Norrie.
Is there a
Somebody who
such thing as a Poshner?
Sure, I'll tell you what it is. Somebody who says Christmas, who's from the north side.
Christmas.
Is that a Christmas?
Christmas. It's Christmas.
It is Christmas.
Christmas.
Steve,
You were actually, you were literally adopted, I'd say. You had to have been.
Honestly, like.
Yeah.
I hope that answers your question, Sean. And who's
good question?
Who says?
Good question.
That's like saying, is it ketchup or red sauce?
What is it?
Ketchup.
Oh.
No. We'll ask the girls. Girls, what is it?
Red sauce. Sorry.
Yeah, it is red sauce.
Okay, I'll turn around and say it now, all right, just so the public do know it. You can join myself and Alan next week, or whoever we're interviewing.
I'll get my own show, so Posh Northsiders. There'll be 4 of us.
Posh Northsiders who eat ketchup on Christmas.
Yeah.
So yeah, girls, thanks very much for coming on with us.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm uppity. I was informed. I was uppity. Dale would know that one. I'd be called uppity before.
Uppity.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did I hear that uppity? Maybe
uppity, I heard it before, but not from an hour. Like.
No. So yeah, thanks very much for coming on. We just wanted, I suppose, chat with you because you are the nation's favourite family. The show is fantastic. It would not be the same without G on the show, not just because I'm a fan of the show, but because you're from Cork, you know what I mean? The Cork. So fair play. So yeah, thanks again. I'll hand you over to the lads.
Well, on that note, again, same for me. Thanks very much for coming on and giving us a bit of a laugh. We wish we could do it longer, but look, we might catch up with you middle or towards the end of the year, and we can have another chat and see how you're getting on. Dean,
after the wedding.
After the wedding.
During the wedding. I could be a roving reporter during the wedding.
Yeah. Do you want to say goodbye to your sister before you literally have to FaceTime the family at 9:30, or?
No, we normally text each other. What did you say this time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Me being like, computer's broken. That's normal.
Yeah.
Oh, is he your tech guy?
Oh, is that? Oh, that's all right. So because you text him, he texts me. I relays it back to him. He gives it to you.
When was the last time I texted you about it? So.
About what?
Yeah. See.
I'll get him. I'll share WhatsApp now if you want.
About an hour ago.
On that note, we'll see you right back after this.
Dean from Unity Media Network here. If you or anyone own a business or you specialise in a certain topic, if you want to contribute in some way or you need help in a certain area, contact us via Messenger, DM on Twitter, or email us admin@unitymedianetwork.com or visit the website and fill out the contact form and we'll contact you.
And lads, we're back. Just on that note, I think a good third episode. There may be what I wanted to say is I wanted to ask the public if there was anybody out there had any ideas or suggestions for us to interview. We do have a sports segment coming up and a business segment coming up. We may be taking a break next Monday, and there may be 3 episodes then again to follow, just with organisation and work and the current situation, but we won't know. But look, obviously check our social media. And lads, do you want to add to that before we knock off?
Brendan that sent the message, if he's still watching, like Brendan is in Melbourne, but is he from Melbourne or from Cork watching? Like, doesn't really matter, but things like that just to let people have a kind of a different view stuff as well, because as you said, people are looking for stuff to break up their time, hence why we did this now. So I think, yeah, if Brendan is available next week, I see it.
Lazy Festival Monday off. No. We have to have a family life, Mr. Sammy and Dreenan. But sure, look, we all know who he is anyway. Messer on Twitter as well.
He's a red sauce man.
So he is. So on that one, myself and Anna will be back next week. Still haven't made a decision on the email. But on that note, lads, adios.
Thanks again. Cheers, lads.